Okay, we're gonna try this again. Pause this music here. Yeah, so hello again. It's been a long time. It is, I believe it's about 3:50 p.m. April 22nd, I believe, 2026. I'm going east, but I'm going straight. Yeah, so, alright. Now, I definitely have good reason for why I haven't been making videos for a while. I gotta go to East 80th. I got one of my coworkers behind me. Pulled up. Yeah, I gotta remind myself I have to make these videos for basically like insurance purposes because, well, technically, if they're claiming that people of the secret society are trying to do things to me, I have to remind myself that every smile isn't exactly the smile that you think it is, because you don't necessarily know who's secret society unless they themselves were to reveal it to you, right? Now, I know then there's the idea of like job mobbing and, people get close to you, they act friendly with you, they, whatever. Then sometimes they'll like gaslight you or say certain things that just be like, what? Is that a slight at me? And then you try to take it as like, oh, that's just like friendly, joking around or whatnot. But sometimes jokes be having a whole lot of like hidden little innuendo, whatever. But like I tell everybody, and like I tell y'all too, I try not to focus on the things that I can't control. All I can really do is control and focus on how I react to everything, right? So let's get started, right? Yeah, it's been over a month since I made a video. So what I can tell you right now, since I got the light. Alright. Now, what I am using right now, this you see here going across the forehead, is actually going around the head. This is called mass-loaded vinyl, right? Mass-loaded vinyl is a type of material that they use for soundproofing rooms for like, recording studios and stuff like that, right? Now, what I've been learning to do, and I got my mom some for herself. My girlfriend's been using it herself. She even bought like another roll. They come in different lengths and sizes on eBay. So, yeah, the mass-loaded vinyl. What I've been learning, little by little, and what I'm trying to, whatever I could retain, I'm learning that there is definitely something to placing the MLV directly on the skin. Like, it has to be directly on the skin. It's like, because you got to remember, we're talking about nanosensor technology that's working as a network that kind of has like this multi-level cascade from like the outermost surface of your body all the way down to the cell, right? And a lot of people not realizing that the nanosensor technology, right? It's basically like, what the fuck, bro? Damn. Glad I got that shit on fucking camera. What the fuck is he doing? Anyway, so, and I'm like, y'all see the shit. What the fuck is he doing? Anyway, so now the nanotech, right? It's basically in like when you think about the Earth and you think about how oxygen is around the Earth. Well, you can't see oxygen, right? Now with this nanotech, right? This nanotechnology is basically a smog. throughout the entire earth. Like I don't think there's any place on earth that doesn't have nanotech in it, unless it's in like some type of vacuum sealed room that hardly gets any air, and then it's like it has like this super filtration system or something like that. That's the only way I think you're gonna find a place on earth that doesn't have nanosensors in it. Now, these sensors is basically like a smog, right? But it's almost like, I don't want to call it interdimensional, but it's like, you know how with smoke or vapor, you can put your hands through it and then it basically goes around your hand, like it'll form around your hand, or it'll flow around your hand. Well, with this nanosensor technology, right, if they cover every surface or every area of the earth in this nanosensor technology, right, they literally are creating like it's like an interface. It's like an interface. So yeah, it's like an interface. So it's like your body doesn't have to worry about moving the sensors around. Or wait, I'm trying to rephrase this. Okay. I'll say it like this. As you're breathing and drinking and well, as the sensors get inside your body, it moves and it positions itself throughout your body so that it can harvest energy or information from several different parts of your body all at once, and then be able to transfer that information through different levels. Your body is like an onion peel. Think of like an onion peel, right? Think of like not an onion peel, but like an onion, right? Your body has layers to it, right? When you have these nanosensors in just about every layer of your body, starting from the outermost layer of your skin, all the way down into your bone marrow, into your cells. And remember, nano is so like the size that they're building this technology is literally small enough that it can get into the mitochondria of a cell, right? So it's like, you got to remember what they're doing is they're making it so that data, when they transmit this data, it's not only just to the surface of the skin. Because the nanosensors are in multiple layers of the body, when a signal hits the surface of the skin, it has multiple layers of sensors that it can cascade down to the deeper layers of the body. Right? I'm trying to keep going. Man, they done made me miss the next light. Golly. I'm about to catch it on this one. But now, why is this car not turning? Yes, I need you to turn. So nothing keeps going straight. Anyway, so when they send these signals into the body, they can already choose the depth of how far or what resonance that they want to, or how much power that they want to transfer or transmit into this particular area of the body, right? Now, that's just talking about the layers, right? Now, what I'm learning about with ultrasound and all these different energies that they're using to attack us is ultimately they all have to have, conductivity. They have to know that like there's a certain type of like electrical, I guess an amplitude or something that the skin. It's like when the signals are coming to the skin. It's like, let me see, what's the words I'm looking to say? It's like, it's kind of like opening and closing. a door, or like think of like a gland. You know, glands, they open and close, right? So when they're directing signals and stuff to our body, first they have the frequency. They have the frequency for where or what they're trying to attack, right? Or stimulate. That's the word they're going to use in the paper, to stimulate. Then let's say if it's like a very particular part of your kidney, right? A very particular part of your kidney. First they have to have the resonant frequency of like your kidney, and then it's like with the AI, machine learning, and all the other technologies involved. When the signal hits your skin, it does like this kind of like your skin is kind of like does this gateway thing where the signal, it hits your skin and then it has like the right, I don't even know how to explain it, but when it reaches the sensors on the surface of the skin, those sensors pick up on that information, and then it stimulates like the cells of the skin to open or be able to allow, I guess the wave to penetrate through to the next layer, and then it gets to the next node, the next sensor node, where it can then be able to stimulate so that it can get down to a deeper layer. And that's when they could, slowly cascade down and get to that part of the kidney where they wanted to get to. And that's now the thing. What I'm trying to get to is what MLV does is when you apply it directly to the skin. When you apply it directly to the skin, you basically You're changing, I guess the skin's ability to absorb the energy from ultrasound waves. Now, what I've also learned too is there's a way to actually, because mass-loaded vinyl don't block radio frequencies. It's mostly made just for ultrasound waves. Now, what I've been learning is that you would have to combine the mass-loaded vinyl with other materials just so it can be able to properly, I guess, block all energies that could be used. Oh man, you got a terrible flat. Oh man, yeah, that was me a couple of days ago. Anyway, but yeah, there's a way, like you have to combine the MLV with other materials. So I just happened to be looking through my old phone, and I found this website, or rather it's a study about this material called Mexine. M as in Michael, X as in X-ray, E as in elephant, N as in Nancy, E as in elephant, right? So Mexine is supposed to be like this next generation super shielding material for electromagnetic interference, right? Now, what Mexine, it's basically, from what I read in the story, the study, is that Mexine has this ability that when an electrical charge when certain electrical charges reaches the material, it has the ability to kind of like almost like swell up or fill with that energy from the electronic source, right? Now once it fills up, like the charge fills up, it could actually be, I guess, based on however, whatever system that the Mexine is like connected to or programmed with, they can make it into a switch to where it can actually allow a charge to get through, or it can actually prevent a charge from charge or allow, what am I trying to say? The electromagnetic field to either allow a field to be able to interfere or get through its material base, or to not be able to allow it to. Hold on. Alright, so right? So it's like by putting the MLV on your skin, you can block at least a good deal of ultrasound waves. Now, the only other thing is that doesn't block radio frequencies, right? So what I found out through the chatbot is that what you have to do is you have to include some other type of material like copper or mexine or something that can help with attenuating the energy that could be carried through radio frequencies and like infrared light. So that I'm working on, and I've been telling some people on Facebook about this material, the mass loaded vinyl. Some people have found some help from it. I ultimately too, I hope everybody's actually been trying the radiation detox salt baths, because I can't explain it enough how important those salt baths truly are when it comes to basically stabilizing the electrical charge that's being built up inside of our body from all these direct energy attacks. Hold on. Right, so dang, they went all the way up to the top. Anyway, yeah, so I'm trying to find the right combination of. Then I'm also trying to play around with a anti-static bracelet. It's like this bracelet that got like it's kind of like a bracelet. Yeah, you've probably seen it before. It's like a bracelet that got like a metal plate on it, and then it has like this wire attached to it with a clip at the end. So what that's supposed to do is it's supposed to help, I guess, conduct a lot of the electrical charge that's on the surface of your skin, and then draw it out from the body, and then you would take the other end of the clip, and then you would clip it to something metal so that it can ground somewhere else. So besides that, yeah, I've been dealing with a lot more attacks on the cognitive level. A lot of ultrasound pressurized waves in my memory cortex, prefrontal cortex, and there's some other cortexes I'm just now finding out about that deals with emotions and planning and stuff like that. So, yeah, and right now, the way this is, it kind of goes around, and it only covers like partial of some of the cortices that are being overstimulated. And man, look, let me tell you, dealing with V2K and then dealing with everyone else who I know is probably being remote neural monitored, but they're either unaware of it or they are aware of it and they don't have the level of awareness to not allow themselves to be too overwhelmed by what's happening to them. It's a challenge, y'all. It's a challenge. 16A. And it's like, thankfully, like, I am a TI who is working and able-bodied still, but, I count my blessings, man. I count my blessings because they definitely are letting me know, at least through the BTK, that, there are a lot of people that are sending signals and data to my body, and also based on how I am responding to everything that I'm dealing with, they say that, people don't appreciate everyone. Oh, some people just don't think the same way you do. Some people don't want to figure it out. I'm like, well, what that got to do with me? So yeah, I'll say I've been struggling quite a bit. I mean, we all are struggling because for me, it feels like I'm not having too much of like burns that's like surface area burns unless I put on Kapton tape. Then the Kapton tape literally just reveals like that. Like whenever I get a mark on my body where the Kapton tape was at, because most tapes don't really leave a mark on the skin when you put it on, no matter how long it's been there. Most tapes don't leave a mark on the skin like you were burned. So Kapton tape is actually the type of tape that they use in in space shuttles and stuff to help with electromagnetic interference or to help block from other electromagnetic fields or radiation from interfering with wires and components that the tape is covering. So whenever I put the tape on my body, it's like a reminder that our bodies are being smothered in these energies, right? So whenever I take the tape off, usually like a day later, there's this kind of like, it's like a burn mark in the exact place where the tape was at, and it goes the whole length of the tape. So it just reminds me, because I'm like, how many times I've put tape on my body for a long period of time and I've never seen a burn mark right after of taking the tape off. So it lets me know that the conductivity of our bodies are definitely being modulated, or some type of modified. I don't know if that's the word, but take the salt baths. I can't stress anymore how important it is to take those salt baths. We got someone coming in here. Alright, hold on. So, I don't remember what I was talking about before, but, right, so, finding the right type of materials and the right combination of them, really, you definitely want to get those baths in, because the baths help on the basically like the chemical and biological aspect of basically stabilizing the body again, from an electrical standpoint. I'm trying the best that I can to try to recall as much as I can. Their main focus at this point doesn't necessarily seem like it's all that focused on generating pain or causing like physical noticeable harm or anything like that. For me, it seems like their focus is more on disrupting my cognition altogether. So I'm trying to learn how to manage myself in ways that, like, man, it's like, I don't know, man. It's I don't even know how to really describe it, but yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So wait, no, I'm on this side. Yeah, I can't even remember what I was talking about before. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, the reason why I can't keep track of everything that I'm talking about is because I keep feeling this pressure build up on the right side of my temple. All right, so that's as far as shielding that I got so far. Something else I've been working on too. So what I would do, I know I've mentioned that I've been doing this kind of like alkaline water detox, where I would get like a bottle of water and I'll put like a cap full of baking soda inside the bottle, and I would add a chelating agent like activated charcoal or some other chelator to the water, and I'll shake it up, and I'd either drink half of it or drink the whole thing. And that usually kind of helps me feel pretty good internally, and also it's like that helps with like a lot of internal things. But and then I think it also helps with the conductivity of your skin too, because once you start sweating, your skin itself is you're basically going to secrete more salt. So the more salt you actually have on the outermost part of your skin, you're at least going to be making your skin a little bit more retarded in a sense to certain, I guess, maybe it's certain frequencies or certain amplitudes of the energy waves. But yeah, I'm still working on trying to figure out the whole chemistry behind it all. What else? Then now for me, it's really coming down to what the V2K says and then what everybody else does based on what the V2K said. You know, now like I told you, I don't make it a habit to, you know, try to accuse anyone of being a gang stalker or anything like that. I have yet to actually like approach anyone who I thought was one and then actually try to like be like, oh, you're one of them. I have yet to do that, because one thing I don't want to do is assume wrong and then be wrong. Especially when it comes to accusing someone, because then they could just straight up say that you're harassing them. And I've watched other TIs live certain lives, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to run into that same problem. So I use my due diligence, and I only try to accuse based off of what evidence I have. You know, if I have audio recording of them saying something, or I got pictures of them doing something, that's something else, you know. Now, let me see. Hold on, let me go ahead and deliver this real quick. Right. So, right, and it's like I come in to work, and this is anybody with any job. You know, there's your private life, and then you come into work, and then you got work stuff that happens, right? Now, I mean, I'm not trying to be like a jerk or anything, like, oh, well, you're not being targeted, so you don't know what it's like, da da da. I mean, I can't have that type of conversation with people who's not around people, you know. And then on top of that, it's like most of the people I work with, they don't really look like the type that actually like tries to look for help from anyone that they have worked with an agency or got a badge or anything like that. Because it's like, I mean, what do they think TI is supposed to do? Because none of us are most of us aren't scientists or have a background in electromagnetic radiation or neurosciences or anything like that. But yet the V2K, they're like, oh, Chris a pussy ass nigga because, you know, he wasn't supposed to tell nobody about the technology. But I'm like, first and foremost, how you hack somebody's nervous system and expect them not to be mad? and then they try to like, oh, so you know, and then they try to act like, you know, oh, well, we was trying to give your ass an opportunity. An opportunity to what? Gang stalk somebody else? What's up? So, I mean, for the most part, it's, you know, you can only do but so much, right? You know, and you know, no one's really like, in the news, you look around, you see that there's like the 11, 12 different scientists who knew about the UFOs, and they had classified clearances and whatnot. Now, they ended up dead or missing, right? Now, imagine a regular civilian knowing about nanotechnology already inside every human on the planet. What you think gonna happen to us? So it's like, I'm not even really trying to be all like, worried about what they plan on doing. They tell me, oh, people at my job plotting to do something, they just waiting on the word or whatever the case. I'm like, man, I can't be bothered by them. Because then again, I'm the only one that's seeing and perceiving the world that I am, the way that I am. And I'm trying to do my best to give as much detail out there about everything I did before I possibly leave, or before I leave this earth. So, and it's like the V2K, I don't know. I guess for whatever reason, it's just like, remember, I've been working this job. I've been working this job since February of 2021. My targeting didn't start until September of 2020. So before I knew anybody at this job, I was already being targeted. So, it's like I was already being targeted before I even got the job. And I remember my first week at the job, I found people who were already like a part of the whole thing, because for whatever reason, they just knew exactly what types of things to say around me, even though I did not know anything about them. And there's one instance that kind of rings in my mind is like, it was like my second week on the job or something like that. And I remember we were, this was before we had the bikes, we were walkers at the time. And I remember I was still trying to fill everybody out, because I was like, yo, this gang stalker stuff, people watching me, looking at me, sound like people talking about my personal life as it walked by and whatnot. So I was trying not to read too much into certain things. But then this one dude, he was a driver, and he just happened to say something that I just could not ignore. Dude is talking to one other guy as they standing against the wall, right? And everybody else kind of like standing around waiting to get their routes and stuff. And I could tell they're talking to each other, but then they kind of seem to be looking in my direction. Then all of a sudden, the dude who was a driver, he throws his hands up and he's like upset, and he goes, he was supposed to be a police officer. Now, mind you, the only time I've ever heard someone mention something like that is the V2K and anybody else who is quote unquote of the streets, because the V2K, they always say the secret society and the street people that's watching my body area network and all the data that's being transferred in and out of my body. So now they always like I guess to help with the psychological aspect, because I think ultimately they want to try to see if they can create like some type of Manchurian candidate out of me, so where they have conditioned me to certain triggers, to certain stimulations and triggers for so long that at some point, I don't know, maybe one day, the next time they say supervisor, and then all of a sudden I just go black. I don't know. But it's like, slowly but surely, it's like I'm watching everything that like happens. Like I'm observing myself very closely, especially when there's moments when like he has these, I like to call them emotional outbursts, right? I get people frustrated. Shit, you don't think I'm frustrated? I don't even know if I'm gonna make it to work today. So they be like, I don't even know if I'm gonna wake up the next morning, because my heart just couldn't take the pulse that they sent at my heart like at 3 a.m. this morning, or I don't know if I'm not gonna be able to fight off that next pulse as I'm standing on a train platform waiting for the train to come up. I don't even know if I don't even know most of the stuff that, like, you know? So it's like a lot of times when I come to work, it's like, I'm just thankful that I can still come to work, right? I'm thankful that I was able to even get up. I'm thankful that my mom still is living with her son, and her son didn't die before her, you know? Now, and then it's like, on top of that, you know, I gotta deal with them attacking, like, my girlfriend in so many different ways. And like I tell you, I don't internalize anything that I hear. What I do is I kind of put it on the shelf. I put a pin on it, and I wait for evidence of it in a physical sense. Because anyone can say anything about someone, but how many people actually wait for physical evidence? So I don't assume anything about anyone, right? Now, just like how they always say, oh, your supervisor this, your supervisor that, then they, you know, then it's like the whole, then they had me on this whole thing where it was like, oh, you wasn't supposed to mention that your supervisor got a crush on your girl. And then it's like, slowly but surely, I know I mentioned it in the video, but then it'd be like, it's strange though, because all of a sudden I started to notice, like, we don't, like, vibe as much as we used to, you know. I don't know, you know, but I just kind of like, luckily for them, because if they weren't in this shit, I probably would have slowed down enough. Yeah, these cars, when I'm trying to turn and whatnot, these cars be on like a whole, whew, it's dangerous. But that's why I like to be on the bus lane over there. The bus lane, I'll just go straight. I ain't got to worry about turning cars as much. But it be these cars that's trying to go west. These cars that's trying to go west, they're the ones that be doing the most. But anyway, so yeah, it's like I gotta deal with 4 individuals who I probably know still live in New York City. I'm pretty sure they didn't move from the Bronx. I'm pretty sure if they don't live in Boone Avenue no more, then I know they still living in New York City. So now all I gotta do is figure out. I'm at the point where my sensitivity level, I can trace waves to their source, right? I can trace it around my body. I can find out which nodes are in. So, like, let's say if they're stimulating my left, like a spot on my left knee, I can pinch that wave and realize it's not just one single wave. It's actually a combination of like 2 or 3 or sometimes even 5 different nodes, all routing data to one node. So it's like we're dealing with a multi-nodal electrical stimulation, but it's all done remotely. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Oh. You going? Oh, right, because, showtime in New York City. My phone is dying. Anyway, but I should be done for the day anyway. Yeah, so among other things too, the V2K's been telling me that, like, your supervisor's been spreading the rumor about you, and people don't trust you no more, people think you're a snitch. And I'm like, the only thing I'm talking about is technology that's in every single human being or every single living creature on this planet. And not every one of these creatures know that this technology is in them. So it's like, to me, I like to say this. they want to call me a snitch, right? So I'm like, does every drug dealer, murderer, pedophile, thief, does every person know that they have nanotechnology inside of their body that's transferring the data, the biometric data, from their body to a cloud so that other people can actually modulate modify, whatever you want to call it, the things that's happening within their body. Like, do everybody know this? And then they're like, oh, well, you're not supposed to talk about it, you're not supposed to this, you're not supposed to that, da da da. And I'm just like, okay, scratch all that. Do everybody know? Because if everybody don't know, but they're trying to make it seem like, oh, you're the only one talking about it, everybody else know not to. I'm thinking to myself, so why are you calling me a pussy then? Like, why are you calling me a bitch? Why are you calling me a punk? Why are you calling me everything that I know I shouldn't be called because your ass ain't doing the same thing that I'm doing? Or anything close to it. You know why? Because your ass is afraid to die. So, and it's like in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm aware that I could be killed. I'm aware that my mother could be killed. I'm aware that my girlfriend, her son, my sister, I'm aware that my family members could be targeted. I'm aware of all these different things. But you know what? I can't let someone put fear in me that God did not put there. Like, it's totally different from, it's totally different from, you know, someone kinetically trying to bully you, like someone in your face they try to do something to you, or you know, you have a problem with someone, you know exactly who it is. But this is completely different. These are people who act as like a digital network of like people living like the Sims, but they can literally control your body. like it's not even funny how much they can control the body. You know, it's like imagine taking the average person, giving them the ability to gain access to someone's body like any surgeon in any part of the world, and then they could literally just change whatever they want at any given point, or stimulate you however they want at any given point and for however long they want. And I'm like, but I'm the bitch and I'm the pussy for trying to actually find out, okay, how can we stop this? How can we block this? How can we do something so that, you know, we're not just, you know, because it's like, okay, granted, I've already accepted the fact that, you know, this targeting thing could be like a lifelong thing. But I'm not giving up on the idea that, like, hey, there's got to be some type of way where, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. But there's got to be some type of way where we can do something to reduce whatever we're experiencing. Because I'm like, come on now. You know, and I'm not no confrontational person. I'm not a violent person. I'm not somebody that argues. I don't even like arguing with people because sometimes my mind just don't even move fast enough to want to argue with somebody. So I don't even, you know, so it's like, to me, it just don't make sense why I'm in this situation. But you know what? I've been learning some esoteric things, and sometimes, you know what, you don't realize it, but you may have been born with a certain thing about your life that God wanted you to be that powerful, that they had to come for you. The lonely person you are, they had to come for you. So, pretty much at this point, I am, I don't know, but I thought about seeing if I needed to get a lawyer just in case, because, I don't know, lately, I don't know, maybe I feel myself kind of starting to maybe believe some of the things the B2K could be saying, because it's like, you know what it is? It's like, I know myself. I know how I interact with people. I know what I'm like when I'm feeling sociable and stuff. But then, what people don't know is that even though I might be smiling, they don't even know I'm taking shot after shot, pulse after pulse, stinging and burning sensations all throughout my neck, or my back, my left hip, my heart, like all these different places, right? I'm feeling all these different things, all the while I'm trying to be smiling and jovial and friendly and team player and things like that. But people don't know I'm suffering. Like, and it's funny because the V2K be like, you ain't even really experienced nothing yet. And I'm like, you're right, because I see TIs online going through things that I haven't been through yet. And I'll be thankful to God that I haven't, you know? And then the V2K say things like, oh, well, your supervisor, he's the only one trying to protect your ass, and you ain't trying to protect your supervisor. And I'm like, what? You can't expect me to be Superman, and you can't expect me to be Superman, and I'm dealing with remote neural monitoring, directed energy weapons, and a whole freaking secret technological transhumanist society, all directing, energy to my body and stuff, and I don't have like the means or the knowledge to really truly filter or block out these signals, so I'm like, I'm not even trying to get caught up. I try not to get caught up in that, because all it really does feel is debilitating. It makes you feel like it's hopeless, but I don't feel hopeless. I feel like I am trying everything that I got without draining myself of whatever energy that I have left, because I'm being zapped and stuff, and my energy is being zapped. And then also learning that they use human bodies as weapons. I realize a lot of TIs don't know this yet, but the gang stalkers, they don't need to have their phones in their hand. Their phone in their hand is literally just their phone in their hand. They can extract the energy from the phone even if that shit was in their pocket. They can extract the energy from the phone, but even if they don't have a phone, all they need is a body. Hell, it could just be a light bulb. But all they need is a body, or if they have a transmitter nearby, a fucking screw in a wall. If that screw is made of a certain type of metal, they will reflect signals off of that screw and hit you with the signals from a screw. And I have literally tested this theory out countless times. So yeah, I'm working on things, and it's not easy, man. And y'all know it's not easy. Y'all living some of the stuff I'm living too. So. But yeah, one of these days I'm going to get pen and paper, and I'm going to make a full-on, I told myself one of these days I want to make an actually good production video. I want to make a really good video one day, so that it's not so choppy and skippy and all this other stuff. Because I know I make terrible videos. That's one thing that V2K has said that I actually agree with. I make my videos long as hell, and I don't be saying a lot of nothing. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, hey, at least people hear me. They ain't gotta watch the whole video. I'm not asking people to watch the whole video, but just if anything sounds familiar to you and it resonates with you, then by all means, I'm with you. But other than that, yeah, my phone's at 10%. So take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.